What's going on, traders? It's Ricky with TechBot Solutions. For those that are joining us for the first time, I want to thank you again for taking time out of your day and joining us. Today, we're going to be scanning for stocks. We have about 16 minutes during pre-market hours. If you guys don't know what that is, it's a time where not everyone is actually able to invest in the stock market, but it gives us some time to analyze, plan out our trade, and follow up with stocks that we saw potential in as of yesterday. My group is actually starting to tune in right now. My group is TechBot Solutions. We're a little bit over now 34,000 members worldwide. We're over 28,000 members within the TechBot Solutions Facebook platform. If you're not a part of it already, the link is down in the description. We'd love to be a part of your success. Our platform deals with just helping and motivating one another. When it comes down to investing, when it comes down to buying and reselling of different products, when it comes down to real estate, and when it comes just to your entrepreneurial spirit. It's just an amazing community that you can always have to support you in whatever it is that you do. So let's kind of get right into it. I'm a little late. I was having so much trouble finding my charger, but I do apologize. I was at like 2%, so I wanted to make sure that I can complete the focus on the live stream. So I have Duck Deuces telling me focus on your stocks, Ricky. So yesterday I missed out on a stock because I missed out on the entry of a stock because I was talking a little bit too much and answering too many questions. I was already, planning out my trade and stuff like that. But regardless, it always comes down to it being my fault because I, distract myself. But I'm going to be sharing my screen so we can kind of get into it and just start scanning for stocks and start trying to identify potential, plan out our trades, manage our risk, and then we'll go from there. And there's going to be a series of pages and sheets that I'm going to be using. Let's see, right there. And I hope you guys enjoy. So thank you guys again. Alrighty, guys. So this is the Think or Swim TD Ameritrade platform. I'm going to open up level 2. Level 2, it is right here. If you guys want to know how I have my Think or Swim set up, I have made a video on this. So you guys literally just have to search up TOS Ricky Gutierrez, and there will be a tutorial video on how I have everything set up for those that are going to be asking those common questions. So let's go down the list from top to bottom. Volume being the most important. Let me just make sure that, yep, top to bottom, AMD. Killing it this morning. So AMD had an earnings call last night, and that was something that within the TechBot Solutions group chat, that was something that was extremely it was something that was like alerted to a lot of us. Usually earning calls are not always the best thing, especially AMD. The last earnings call that it had, earnings report that it had, ended up doing very poorly. But this one had a little pullback, bounced the support at 1346, and then ended up hitting highs of overall 1570, and then making its way back down. But one of the coolest things is I'm probably not going to trade AMD. The reason I say that, let me focus on this area right here. The reason I say that is the margin of profit. Again, you have to think about it. I don't necessarily just have 3-day trades, but I still think of it that same way. So if you have 3-day trades, you want to make sure that every stock that you trade has the most potential when it comes down to you taking advantage of that opportunity. I definitely think AMD does show signs of potential, especially if we can catch it at the bounce at like 15.10 or $15 flat. One thing that we know about AMD is right as the market opens, there's usually a pullback. So again, pullback, so it pulls back down. This one wasn't a big pullback, but this one, it did have a pullback there. And then let's go a little bit further back, another pullback, and then it peaks out. Pullback, peaks out. Pullback, peaks out. Again, pullback, peaks out. So you could already see that pullback already happening. Where is it going to bounce? Understanding that during, right before it had this bounce, it's most likely going to be around $15 if it holds well. And it's all about catching it at the bounce, waiting for the resistance, waiting for it to break a resistance, and then setting up a plan on, where to buy, where to sell. So this thing has a margin of profit from about 15 to highs of 1570, about 4.41%. So again, that's actually not that bad. So let's go ahead and use this real quick. Again, I'm just kind of showing you kind of like the basics on how to do this. So the ticker symbol is AMD. The purchase price, let's say it bounces at $15, but let's say you buy at $15.10 because you wanted to break the resistance. You go $15.10. Target sell price would be 1569 since the resistance is at 1570. Again, you guys can put whatever it is that you guys want. Stop loss, giving yourself like, a little bit of a cushion. Really depends on what it is that you want to do. Let's just do 1490. And then there, it calculates your percentage risk. So, well, if anything, if it bounces at 15, then it would be 1499. Not giving it much cushion. So your potential for loss is 0.73%, and your potential for profit is 4.37%. Again, potential for profit is much greater than your potential for loss. That might be something to plan out. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put AMD, and I'm going to put from the support of 15 to resistance of 1570. All right, let's continue moving on, guys. I do want to ask you guys if there's any stocks that are you think are doing well. Feel free to let me know. This is actually one that ended up doing pretty well on yesterday as a group overall. I saw a couple people send me their screenshots on their trades on DGAS, and they saw a pretty good percentage return. We called out the bounce at $26, and it held pretty well throughout the day at $26. Hit highs of $27.72, and you could tell that that was an old resistance. The reason why was if you go one day back, you can see that during pre-market hours, that was a resistance. Again, it becomes a resistance during the market open. Therefore, from 26 to even just lows of 26.73, about 2.87%. Again, that's consistent profit. That's still decent profit. So now, as the market's opening, it actually broke above that resistance. So now we're going from the margin of the 26.72 to about 27.50. The reason I say 27.50 is 27.50 was an old resistance, as you guys can tell, within this area right here. Struggling to break above that point, and then when it did, it popped right through to almost highs of 28, and then broke right down. Almost started to bounce there, but then broke right down that support again, and now we're trending back up. And if it holds above like this 26.80, then that's a good understanding that it has this like nice little margin from the 26.80 to 27.50, about 2.8%. Again, not the most potential for profit. So let's continue moving on. TOPS, we called this one out perfectly yesterday. And what I mean by that is I don't personally trade stocks that are less than $1. That's just my style. But trust me, I was very tempted because we called it out so well. I identified, if you guys saw my live stream, the margin of profit from 40 cents to 50 cents. And I always wait for the bounce and then the break in resistance. It played out like just a perfect type of play. Bounced at 35 cents, broke above 40, showed signs of upward momentum again. Do you want to invest in something that's showing signs of downward momentum? Or do you want to invest in something that you wait for the bounce and then you wait for a resistance break? You wait for it to break. So it had a support at 40 cents. It broke below that support, and then it breaks above it because it becomes a new resistance. So once it breaks above it, it's showing signs of upward momentum. And again, this margin from 40 to 50 cents is still valid, since it was just a couple hours ago, a couple minutes ago, that it was trading within that area. Therefore, the margin to make up this margin is very realistic. Therefore, it had a margin of like 20%. What was this? Yeah, like 19.5, whatever, like almost 20%. Therefore, when it broke above 40, we called it out. And when it was approaching resistance, I was like, guys, like based on the pre-market hours, it was a resistance. So many people did so well on this one. And then it broke above this, the 50, and it had a resistance at 60 cents. And that was a previous trend that you guys saw within this margin right here. And it just played out perfectly. But again, I stuck to my rule. I didn't trade a stock that was less than $1. And that's just, again, my style. The reason I don't do that is because I see more red days than green days when I personally trade stocks that are less than $1. Does everyone experience that? No. I want to make sure that you guys understand that's just based on my, history of trading, and that's just something that I try to focus on and stay away from. Again, just my style. But something that we could see is if the volume and everything plays out according to plan, again, it's still holding above 40 cents. So the support at 40 still shows to be valid. If we can get a solid bounce and then the break over, above the 40 cent mark, then that could be a good indicator that it might run the way that it did yesterday. But guys, it ran once, had a pullback, and then ran twice. And then, so just plan out your trade and manage your risk. It's just a lot more difficult to manage your risk on these lower cap stocks. I really don't like JNEG. It peaked out at $18 and it's been showing signs of downward momentum ever since. And I feel like the margins of profit that it's been building within one day aren't necessarily worth the day trade. Um, let's see. Yeah, because when it bounces, has a resistance here is about 1.64%. I'm going to continue moving on, okay? This is one that I analyzed with my little sister. If you guys saw the video that we filmed yesterday, not too sure if you guys saw that. So if you guys go here, it's a video that I filmed with my little sister, teaching her the basics. So if you don't know much about trading, feel free to check that video out. I also do want to make sure that you guys know that I'm more of a technical trader, but if you guys want to follow some of our team members within Technical Solutions, Connor is an amazing momentum trader, amazing OTC stock trader. Feel free to subscribe to them. They are part of the family. And with all the videos that they upload as well, I'm sure you can get some quality information or input that we don't necessarily talk about in this main channel. But feel free to subscribe if you haven't already. Something that we identified within RAD was we tried to invest in something that shows signs of upward momentum or that we can identify a trend in, right? Something that we did very well yesterday was it saw a downward trend since it peaked out at 277. For those that don't know this one, this is Rite Aid, and we've been trading this one for a couple of days, or at least following it. Saw a downward trend, built a support at 240. It has not dropped below 240, but realistically, it's been having a bounce at around 242 to 243 and a resistance at 250. If I'm not mistaken, it's like a 2.42%, a 2.9%, almost 3% profit. Again, but it's an easy. It's been something that it's been doing very often again, and it's coming back down. If it bounces at 243, then you can set up a simple plan. Okay, well if I buy in at 243, I know that the support is at 240. That's a 1.27 potential for loss. Therefore, once I get filled, I'll put my stop loss at 240. But the potential for profit is to 250 because realistically, it's been hitting that like almost every single day. Therefore, that's about 2.87% profit. So again, potential for profit being greater than potential for loss. Is that trade the best trade that you can jump in? Maybe not. So again, let's continue moving on and seeing what we find. We did very well with this one as well. I called the bounce at 220. If you guys saw during my pre-market analysis, and then I called when it broke the resistance at 225, had the huge spike, had the pullback, and then we called it out again when it was at like 225. It bounced. I called it out when it broke above 230. I did not trade it. That's kind of when I was done trading. Hit highs of 250. So what we've identified and what has stayed valid is that the support is at 220 and that the resistance is at 250. And during pre-market hours, it's still, you guys can see that it's just flatlining at the support. It did go below it, but so it did the same thing yesterday. So crap, why am I so close? Where is it? Right here. Right here. And it actually went a little bit lower yesterday, but it didn't have any movement or anything like that. So again, support's still valid at 220. If I'm not mistaken, it actually had it dropped below 220, and I called that one out, and then it popped right back up. So that was actually really funny because it built so much momentum and so much volume at that specific moment, and we just saw the pop, and all my alerts went off, and it just broke every resistance. So support at 220. Resistance at 250. This might be 1 2-day trade. Again, just understand where this one stands and understand where every single stock stands. It is coming from $1. So is this a smart thing to not cut your losses on? Definitely not. Stick to your plan, identify the support, identify the resistance, identify where you're going to buy, where you're going to sell, and then also where you're going to cut your losses. If it breaks below your certain support, again, it's better to cut your losses than rather than hold and see a 20 to 30% drop. Again, have a plan and stick to it. Don't invest based on other people's opinion, and only invest in what you see value in and what you can manage. That's one of the biggest recommendations that I can have when it comes down to like someone just getting into trading stocks or someone that's still, investing, but wants to at least be guided in the right direction. So Square Incorporated, resistance at 27. This thing's all over the place. I really don't like it. I don't want to waste too much time. We have 1 minute and 37 seconds remaining. I think has been showing a consistent, yeah. Not really interested in this. Okay, DNR, nope. Nope. It has a nice little margin. I think we called that one out yesterday from 230 to 240. If you guys see the trend that it's been having. bouncing at lows of 230, hitting highs of 240. Right now it's at 233, 237. I'll put my alert. There's nothing wrong with that. So I'm right clicking, and then when it goes below 232, it'll alert me. And then if it goes above 238, then I know that it's peaked out. And just know, like, be realistic, guys. Have a plan and be realistic on, is it going to lock in that profit? So it peaked out at 240 once during the market open, and that was 2 days ago. Peaked out twice right at that yesterday, and then it really just hit that once. So okay, when it went from bottom to top. All right, guys, 25 seconds till market open. Did want to talk about this one, CUR. Right now, I called out the support yesterday right before the market closed. One of my buddies, Ryan, did very well from 276, I think, to 288. Locked in over $108 worth of profit with like a $2,300 investment, and it was one of his first trades. So congrats to him. But the support at 270, resistance at 290. Let's see how this one plays out. Again, buyers, sellers, it's picking up. This one's actually one that I'm a little interested in. Give me 1 second, guys. Haven't even logged into my account yet. Okay, can we get a break above 280? $276, $277. Pullback, not really pushing through. Again, guys, when it comes down to trading, consistency is key. Lock in those profits and keep losses small. Let's see. Not really moving. That one's a really nice one. Oh, okay. Sellers at 279. Again, support at 270, resistance at 290 based on the margin, but obviously that doesn't mean that it has to hold within that area. We can definitely see a break from $3 to $5. That's kind of what I'm looking for. But it does have a margin for, to continue dropping. So AMD, rad, sellers giving out. Yep, I like that, Ted Simpson. Never chase a stock or be stuck holding the bag. Pretty much what that means is if you're jumping into a certain stock and you're doing it to day trade, but it doesn't end up performing the way that you wanted it to, don't just hold on to it and just not use your day trade because it didn't play out the way that you expected. If you planned out to day trade and it's just not doing the way you expected, again, you're probably day trading it because it's volatile, because it moves all over the place, and those are definitely not ones that you want to hold overnight. So stick to your plan and lock in profits, cut losses, and definitely don't chase hype. I'm gonna put my alert. So there's some sellers that are giving in. There's the buyers at 274 and a bunch of sellers now at 275, dropping support 274. There's a pretty big buyer at it's about to break the support 270, and yep, most likely going to break it. Sellers at 271. If you guys can see that, there we go, broke below it. Experiencing a pullback. Is it going to drop pretty heavy? Not really. We really need to see an increase in volume. Looks like it's probably gonna, nope, dropping 265, 261. It's already dropped 10 cents. 257. And again, this is all margin that it's building. So we're gonna wait for the bounce. So drop below 260. Can we pop back up above 260 and get another good buy? So if it pops back up from 260 and then we go back up to 270, that's 3%. That's not bad. I'm not going to get filled. There's too large of a spread with. Okay, plug is back at support. All right, this thing's back into play. So it's coming back up. Ah, crap. Okay, let me see if I can get in. Again, so we waited for the bounce, trying to get in 260. Sellers at 268. Alrighty. Nope, it's not really holding the way that we wanted it to, but all right, I'm not going to chase it. Okay, we're back at 260. Let's see what you guys have to say. Thank you, Wambu. Oh, broke below. Really, it wasn't really progressing from 260. So, well, there we go. It's not doing horrible. It's still held above 257, which is where its initial drop was. Why the heck am I looking at freaking crap? Okay, actually not a bad indicator. Okay. AMD bounce real quick. Again, guys, had a pullback, bounce close to that $15 support, and is now approaching that resistance. That was that 4% profit margin that we called out, going back up to where it peaked out at. It's just like we said, 1510 to 15. What we said, 1570. Let's see if it makes it up there. TOPS did go below it. Again, looks like it's bouncing. It looks like it's trying to hold above 40 cents. For those that want to stay up to date with that, RAD back at support at 244. Showed signs of upward momentum. It's coming back down. Don't really care about that one. Had enough margin on that one. PLUG. Looks like it's trying to bounce now. Did go to 231. Again, low point. And then its high point is around 240. Had like a 2.8% potential for profit. Not bad. Come on. So I'm going to play it safe. And until I can identify a solid bounce, signs of upward momentum, like just looking at this, does this look like something that I want to invest in? Definitely not. I'd much rather wait for the bounce. And even if I have to wait till, it drops down to 240 and comes back up and breaks above 260, at least I'm catching at an upward trend. So I'm trying to be patient. I'm trying to really wait on this one. I definitely know that this one has potential. It played out very well yesterday, but again, it had to do with a lot of the news. An old support, so 255. Let's see how that plays out. Oh, just broke below that. So just gonna go to the 250. We can see a little bounce like this one. That would be nice. I told my sister she has to wake up at 7, so she can trade and execute on the Robinhood app. So if I don't end up trading today, again, guys, and okay. So what I was going to say about that is like I'll try to help her out with her trade since that's something that we said that we're going to do. Trade with about $500 on the Robinhood account, since I don't use that account anymore. Um, but something that people I think might have the idea of when it comes to trading, again, a lot of people because they have under $25,000 are using a margin account and use even the Robinhood app. They're under the PDT rule. Guys, if the stocks are not playing according to plan, so like let's say CUR, it never bounces and it never shows like a solid, bounce and break of a resistance, then I won't buy it, right? And I was looking at CUR, I was looking at PLUG, and those were the main ones that I was looking. I was looking at AMD, but not really. I was a little too slow on that one. Where did it peak out at? Okay, I already peaked out at 1565, so it didn't hit exactly what we called it, but still bounced and still had that nice little pump. But the most important thing to understand is, guys, if it's not working out the way that you planned it out to be, don't force the trade. You have 3-day trades within a 5-day period. If it means that the market's just not performing, you don't feel comfortable trading, then guys, take a step back, take a day off. Learn a little bit more about something else, or just see how it kind of plays out. See how you could have done a little bit better, or if it ends up playing out the way that you planned it to, but you just ended up not wanting to do it, then think why. You don't force your trade. Don't invest because other people are telling you to invest. If you don't understand what you're buying, don't trade it. It's as easy as that. Again, when it comes down to investing in anything, like feel comfortable and understand what you're investing in. Manage your risk, and the only way that you can do that is if you can identify a good buy point, sell point, and then where you can cut your losses. So it looks like it's picking up, but it's just not picking up the way that I wanted to. It's not really moving up with the buyers. Like sellers are moving up and then they drop back down. So I'm going to follow up just like I normally do within the Tech Solutions Discord group chat and then the Facebook group. So I'll be sure to see. But I'll be sure to follow up with if I end up executing any trades. I'll feel free to share it with the group and then with the Facebook group. I'll try to send out a couple alerts on certain stocks that are doing well. Oh, guys, like this one played out just like we called it out. Bounce at 220. Again, now showing signs of upward momentum. What would be nice is if we can get the break above 230, just like we did yesterday. So waited for the break above 230, had a nice little push, and then pull back. And understanding that just because the resistance is at 250, it doesn't mean that it's going to hit that exact price point. Understand that 240 or 245 might be the resistance. So just be aware of that and be ready to lock in profits. But this is definitely one that I'll follow up with. I need to set my alert to see if it goes there. Okay, so again, the 3 stocks that I'm going to be focusing on today are CUR, and that's from the margin of the bounce from 260 to the highs of 290. AEZS from the bounce of 220 to highs of 245. Again, just like it performed yesterday, doesn't mean that it's going to have to. And then PLUG, it's at a pretty low point right now from its support that it has at 230, resistance at 240. So just waiting for a better buy or just more volume or more movement. And then AMD played out pretty well, but it looks like it's already experiencing a pullback. So we called that one out very well. I hope that helps some of you guys out. I saw a couple people within our group chat calling that specific stock out. So I really do want to thank you guys again for joining us within our live stream. If there's something that you think that you can suggest to make it that much more effective, I'm always open to suggestions. Again, I'm making these videos for you guys. So if there's anything that you guys want me to do and to elaborate a little bit more, then again, I'm here to serve you guys, and I want to make sure that you guys understand that. I really just enjoy making these videos and talking to you guys. I took a little bit of a different approach today and kind of just focused on identifying potential. I felt like I was a little bit more efficient with going through a series of stocks, um, and yeah, that's really just it. So right now I do have a question. So Joey Gaming Films is saying, I'm so bad at trading right now. Brother, if you're investing real money, then the first suggestion that I could have for you is to start paper trading. Get your feet wet when it comes to trading, learn the mechanics. And if you see that this isn't a market that, you're not going to be successful in, then again, you didn't risk any real money. You at least learn the concept of investing, and you can move on. Again, we have so many different subgroups within TechBud Solutions and beyond that, right? Just all we want to do is expose you to new opportunity and motivate you to try something new within your own means, right? Never force anything. Invest in what you see value in, and kind of going in that approach. So there's paper trading, simulation trading. You don't have to risk any real money. And I think with that, you could really show yourself and kind of open yourself up to see if it's going to be a market that you want to invest in. But just treat it as real as you can. So stick to your plan and manage your risk and think of it if it feels real money. So, man, just you see you are like, there's just one buyer at, okay, like just the demand isn't there. There's not enough buyers. It's not moving the price enough. And every time that it breaks above 260, comes right back down or even drops below. That's why I'm not buying in yet. I don't feel like the volume is there enough. I don't even care like if even I have to buy in at 267 or 265 or whatever it is. I just want to start seeing signs of upward momentum, and it's not showing that. It is, but not really. It's not. It's kind of just flatlining, and I definitely don't want to get in at 260 and then have to stop loss out at 255. I want to make sure my day trades are valuable and that I don't just throw them all over the place. Because again, that's why the PDT rule's there. It's because a lot of inexperienced traders make the decision to buy and sell, buy and sell, buy and sell, and they're just trading all these stocks and might be losing an enormous amount of money. So it's there to protect us, or protect those that have less than $25,000, which are usually inexperienced traders. But again, I know a lot of you guys are learning a lot quicker than expected. So just remember consistency, have a plan, stick to your plan, and lock in profits and keep losses small. So I'm going to end the live stream here. For those that haven't followed Connor, again, he's a momentum trader. So if you like that style of trading, he's a member within TechBud Solutions, and he leads the momentum group chat within TechBud Solutions. So you guys can go right here, and then there are all these series of messages. So feel free to check out that group. And then we have, and then he leads the OTC stock group as well, the one in the group me. So amazing guy to follow, and I hope you guys, I hope we see you in the group chat. But most importantly, I post the links to the group chat within the Facebook group. So if you're not a part of it already, again, the link is down below. And then if you have any questions or need to search for anything, again, search for it right here, and everything should pop up. So let's go from there. I can't thank you guys enough again for tuning in. I'm going to dedicate maybe 13, 15 more, like 30 more minutes. I'll stay up to date, and I'll try to follow up with these stocks. If I see that nothing is really pushing, I have a flight that I'm going to have to catch back to Arizona today. I came here to visit my family in California, and I had a trip or a meeting with Tanner, so that was actually pretty nice. But again, I'm not going to force the trade. If it's not working out, then I'll just focus on the other things that I have going on. But most importantly, I just want to take this time to thank you guys again for everything it is that you guys do. Continue working hard, be driven by your passion of whatever it is that is. But most importantly, like always, guys, let's make sure that we end the year on a green note, guys. Take care.